Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Tanner.
Welcome to episode 132 of Bird Squad.
As you could see there, we were signaling for our Batmen. DEVONTA, AJ Brown, Quez Watkins. We'll get into all of it. Another win. 3-0 for these birds, baby. 3-0 for these birds. Gotta keep expectations low. But they look dang good so far. And we'll get into all of it. As you guys obviously know, we were down there. If you haven't seen the vlog, check that out. That came out yesterday, so make sure to check it out. It was all green, baby. It was so great. It was so much fun to be down there. I feel like that's a really good vlog. It really shows the energy that was down there for the birds, and we'll get into the game now. But
oh man, first off, major applause to the fans who traveled down there. I mean, that place was a sea of green behind the birds' bench.
Like I said, if you didn't see the videos, check it out. I took a bunch of them. There's multiple videos about that sea of green. We were sitting on the commander's side, and when we looked across behind the birds, it was just all green. It was crazy. I said to him maybe 10 times when we were sitting at that game, I was like, it's just nuts how many people are down here.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but anybody local, Philly area, whatever, thinking about going on a road trip game, that is a seamless trip, man.
It wasn't bad.
It's an easy drive down, easy drive back. And, you know, with that many bird fans, I mean, there's no hostility down there.
No,
you're not taking any crap from anybody. I mean, the Commanders know what they got. So it's like, and it, you know, it lived up to expectations for what we wanted to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so we'll get into the game now. So, once again, if you haven't seen the vlog, want to see our trip down to Washington, make sure to check it out. But we'll talk about the game now. 24-8. Birds win 3-0. And usually we like to talk about the offense first. And we will. This boy had a game. But we'll talk about the defense. 9 sacks. Giving that boy Carson some heck on Sunday with the sacks, man. They were in the backfield early and often, and it felt like they were going to come after Wentz, and they did.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about that D-line for weeks.
Exactly.
Right?
It was so good to see that.
And yesterday was just what the doctor ordered. I mean, getting a little, prescription of Carson Wentz, holding the ball, patting the ball, dropping the ball. I mean, it was just perfect.
It was PTSD before my eyes there. I mean, holding on, like you said, holding on to the ball too long. Obviously, had to put it on the turf a couple times. We got one of those. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the defense did cause havoc, and I think a lot of those sacks truly were on those guys beating their coverages. Fletch looked good. BG looked good. Hassan Reddick had an outing. Sweaty, Hargrave. All the guys up front that we have been calling that this is the big missing piece so far in this defense showed up, and obviously Carson helped with a couple of them. But that's exactly what they needed, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect, and again, we get out of there unscathed.
Yeah, there was
Everybody seems healthy,
there was a couple question marks, but nothing that got air after the game. I mean, we saw Slay was out for a couple plays, and Dallas was out for a couple plays, but that was about it, and they both came back.
It was kind of a slow start, but you never really felt like Carson was going to be able to do anything.
No, it was all mental, man.
We talked about this on the drive home because we had time to talk. It's just amazing the fall that this guy has taken.
It really is crazy how, what he was. And I mean, we're over him. We moved on. Jalen's the guy now, but it is crazy what he was just a few years ago. I mean, 5 years ago at this point, where this guy was to where he is now. It's really one of the biggest what ifs of really in Eagles history and in football history. But
I've told him before, it's a 30 for 30 in the making. I kept saying at halftime, don't put Heineke in.
It felt like they were gonna make a move. It
felt like the hook.
And I think if a move would have been made, not that they would have came back, but they definitely would have had a little more life. But like we said, it'll be interesting when that Monday night game comes around, if he's even starting at that point.
If he's even playing at that point, who
But
knows?
I digress. Don't worry about the Commanders. We'll talk about our offense now, baby, because they keep clicking. They kept clicking. A slow start, but coming off Monday night.
Came out slow, short week.
Coming off Monday night, I wasn't too worried about it, but they got it together then. And then Jalen Hurts had another great game, 22 of 35, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, that is just insane again. Once again, I didn't think he lit it up like he did against the Vikings, but he played good football again. And once again, not something I expected this kid to do. And he put in the work, and it's been showing so far.
He's looking downfield, you know, when he gets out ready to scramble, he started looking downfield now, and he's throwing some balls. One thing I'd like to see him add to his repertoire is just a pump fake, you know,
Yeah.
and maybe take off.
The
'Cause,
main
you know, you're going to get those guys in the air, and you're going to go by them at his speed.
the main thing is, man, I think he just has confidence in these guys to go up. I mean,
Yeah, very true. Very true.
we'll talk.
I mean,
About
I
DeVonta
I gotta
Smith.
give my guy props because we've been riding the AJ Brown jersey train for the first 2 games. We get down there and I'm like, "You're repping Devontae?"
I had my
today?"
Devonta
You know,
shirt.
like he went out of the box here on me, and I was like, "Wow, okay." Man knew what was up.
I knew what was
I
up,
mean,
man.
Devontae, hands down, became a man yesterday.
Dude,
all right? This
some of
dude
the-
became a man. Best game he's had as an Eagle.
Without
by
a doubt.
far.
And I mean, shades, flashes of Alabama. Though that year, that Heisman year he had, the reason we were calling for this guy and knew that if he got the opportunity, that's what that kid could be. The catches he made, man. The one on the sideline, the deep one that he took the hard hit, hung on, and then the touchdown. 3 catches that the last 4 years of these Eagles wide receivers would never have made. He made one of those last year against the Broncos, but that was about all you saw of that. And he made 3 or 4, like, holy crap catches in one game.
And I mean, the thing I keep saying to him is we've got weapons this year. It's not like Devontae against everybody.
No,
You know
for
what
sure. I mean, Devontae had...
because Rager wasn't helping him last year.
No,
He
it was-
wasn't taking any coverage away from him.
It was Devontae, 8 receptions for 169 yards. Nice. And the touchdown. And then A.J. Brown still had a big game. 5 receptions, 85 yards. He had the touchdown, too. Made a couple big body catches. The touchdown was nice. The one down the sideline was nice. And Goddard had a touchdown, too.
I mean, I just sit there and I go, how did Tennessee let that guy go?
They didn't want to pay the
Wow.
man, and now they're calling...
Insane. The guy's a beast.
They are paying the consequences of not paying that guy because they look rough down there. And we are flourishing up
And
here.
you sprinkle in the enforcer, you know, Zach
Zach
Pascal,
man.
you know?
I mean, that's what we were saying. Like, it's skinny Batman, swole Batman, fast Batman, and it's like enforcer Batman. Because Pascal, you don't mess with Pascal, man.
No, man. No, he is like the bodyguard.
Yeah.
If somebody's messing with somebody, Pascal's going to show up.
Without
You
a
know?
doubt. And I like I like the little things he's done. I think he's come up big on some third downs, made some nice catches. He's a nice 4th wide receiver. I really like what I've seen from Pascal so far. I mean, this offense, man, it continues to click. And it continues to click for everyone. I mean, week 1 was obviously the A.J. Brown game. Week 2 was more of like an everybody game. And week 3 was the Devontae game so far. I mean, the wide receivers, man, it has to be the most talent this offense has had in easily 10 years, if not in my entire lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this much talent since T.O., and it was just T.O.
That's
that
the
year,
thing,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
It was T.O. and Pinkston. I mean, to go through the list of weapons, Goddard, Devontae, A.J., Pascal, you got Quez, you got Jack Stoll, you got Calcaterra or whatever came on yesterday.
Yeah.
And you know,
even the running backs.
Then you got Miles, who's about ready to have a big game.
He is.
The
running backs didn't have anything big yesterday, but that's kind of the way the game played out. They really were taking shots downfield, and that deep ball by Jalen looked really good. But I agree, Miles has looked good so far. I think all the guys so far that has been big question marks have showed up so far. I know we're 3 weeks in, but that's very positive so far.
The thing I'm liking about Jalen this year is he's giving that ball, he's putting it out there and getting these guys to go get it.
Yeah.
You know, where last year he's waiting for them to get separation and then he's throwing it. This year, he's just laying it out there and these boys are going up and getting it or fighting for it.
And the thing is, he's putting it out there, but he's putting it out there better than he ever has. I mean, that was the big question mark last year that we talked about many of times. You can't overcome arm strength. You can't. Yeah. That deep ball's not there, but he's been accelerating on that deep ball this year.
I mean,
putting
that
it in
deep
position.
Ball yesterday looked pretty good. I mean,
it's looked good all 3 weeks. So that's the thing that's crazy. I mean, he has proved us wrong so far, and we continue to hope he does. You know what I mean? Like, we've been the biggest supporter as much as we've been the biggest skeptic. But this kid has shown up and he's put the work in, and this team is rallying behind him. These vets are rallying behind this team, and it's really exciting. And that's the main thing. We want to temper expectations. We were talking about this on the way home today.
Yeah.
They're good. Don't get me wrong. This team's good, and I think this really could be something special. But as crazy as it seems, and how exciting it is, how this team has started, this isn't really like the year. You know what I mean? Like this, it doesn't feel like a bust, like win or bust year. It kind of seems like a house money year, and keep this thing going.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the things, as cliche as it is, you got to play who's on your schedule.
Yeah.
And you got to play every week, right? So, here we go again this week. It's another test. It's a team who I think, and at the beginning of the year, we both think, we're going to beat these guys.
I still believe
Even
they
though
beat them.
Doug's down there and they're improved a little bit, this is a team I think we should take care of business, right?
No, I agree with that.
So, that's part of this evolution of getting better and building up to their standard, what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
They have a standard that they haven't really played to yet. And that's kind of a thing that you can tell Jalen's leadership when you hear some of the older guys giving that same kind of quote, that we haven't kind of played up to our standard. So, it's exciting. I mean, the thing that's just crazy is it's like we're good again, man. And we sat here dejected, feeling like, man, this is gonna be like 3-4 year rebuilding project.
Yeah.
We're gonna go down, sit at the link, and be in some of them games where like, oh man, it's over. But it does not. God, the feeling is just, if you could have been there and watch those vlogs to feel it. But if you could have been there yesterday, oh my God, mad props to all the fans who showed up down there, because that place felt like the link.
It was crazy, man. It really was. And yeah, like we said, check out the vlog, man, for sure. I think the big thing that I like about this team is it feels like every week's a statement week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like, week 1, beat Detroit. Week 2, you thought, hey, we gotta come home, beat a good Minnesota team. Beat them. Week 3, Commanders, iffy, whatever. Wentz, go down there, beat them. And now, Jags coming off a big win against the Chargers. Dougie, gonna have a lot of emotion. Statement win. You know what I mean? I feel like every week this team can make a statement to prove to more people that maybe they are who we think they are.
It feels like right now, and we talked about this when we went to DeVonta's softball game. Just the camaraderie. These guys, they're all pulling in the same direction.
It really feels like that.
There's nobody bigger than the team. It's everybody getting a piece of the pie.
That's a great point. That's something, like I said, I remember saying that at the softball game, and a lot of the videos we've seen in the offseason, this does feel like a team that's well-knit. And that's something I said about this team last year. Even though they weren't the best, it felt like they were a well-knit team, and I think they've done that this year. And once again, it comes down to vets, the structure of the team. But I think all these guys, still 3 weeks in, I think all these guys you brought in molded perfectly. Come right in and fit in. Everyone's been a success so far.
Yeah. And I'm sure these guys that came in, they have not played anywhere like Philly. I don't care what they say. They got to be buying into what the town is doing when they do well.
Exactly. It really has been exciting so far. And once again, it's week 3. There's a lot to go.
As we talk about keeping expectations.
We want to be excited, man. You want to be excited because in 3 games, they've played really, really, really good football. And it's great to see the defense bounce back from week 1. They seem like they're settling in. I know we talked about the secondary last week, but we'll talk about it again. Slay, Bradbury, Avante, all clean. Epps, Gardner Johnson, Kaiser White, TJ Edwards. This
just dogs, man. We talked about going out getting dogs, right? And how we did it, We brought in swag. We brought in dogs. These guys feel like they can't be beat right now, And you're sitting there going, early on in that game, it was like, I don't see Dotson. I don't see McLaren really doing anything here.
No, I know. It really, Yeah, I mean, they've looked good, man. I mean, you went down and handled business. I think that's the main thing is just knowing what you can do and taking care of business. I mean,
we're getting a little tight in the second half, but I mean, really, the game.
I know that's the thing. Do you want to make something out of it or not? Because these games are out of hand.
I'd like to see them keep going.
I agree.
Bit,
I would like to see them keep going
really,
too. And I don't think it's a lack of effort or a lack of focus, but there was no doubt in that Vikings game. And I can tell you, there was no doubt yesterday that they were coming back. And there was no way.
And I know at halftime I said to you, I wish they'd drop a 40 burger on these guys.
Exactly.
But, hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to get that.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to play perfect. They're not going to play perfect.
I'm thankful for the wins. Let's pile up the wins week by week, and we'll just see what happens at the end.
I mean, we're a third of the win total last year in week 3. I mean, just crazy to think about. But
we stay healthy.
Exactly.
We stay focused.
3 weeks in, we're healthy.
The sky's the limit.
Exactly. You got to think, man, if they keep rolling, I mean, second easiest schedule. Once again, you play who you play.
That's right.
You got to keep.
I don't want to hear the schedule. It's whoever's.
No, exactly.
Whoever's
but you
on the schedule.
You can look at it and see where it lays out to us.
Yeah.
But hey, we got another one next week. We got another one against the Jags. We'll be back down at the link, rocking down there, and we'll be back as always next Wednesday. Make sure once again check out. I think the vlogs are going to be coming out Tuesdays. That's the plan for vlogs to come out Tuesdays. So make sure to check out the vlog for the Jags game on Tuesday, and then we'll be back next Wednesday as always. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at birds_squawk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.